Have you ever stopped to wonder why we lose control of our emotions? As complex beings, we are a bundle of thoughts, feelings, and emotions. We laugh, we cry, we feel joy, sorrow, anger, fear, and a myriad of other emotions. But have you ever wondered why these emotions can sometimes seem to spiral out of control? Emotions are a fundamental part of our existence. They guide our actions, shape our personalities, and influence our relationships. They are the color palette of our life's canvas, adding depth and dimension to our experiences. But what happens when the brush slips from our hands? When the colors mix into a chaotic whirlwind of feelings that we can't seem to rein in? This is the mystery of emotions. A mystery that lies at the very core of our being, deeply interwoven with our mental and physical health. It is a mystery that, despite centuries of research and progress, continues to baffle us. Why do we lose control of our emotions? Why does a seemingly trivial incident send us spiraling into a fit of rage or a bout of tears? Why do we sometimes find it so difficult to manage our emotions? The answer to these questions is not simple. It is a complex interplay of factors that include our genetic makeup, our upbringing, our life experiences, and even our current physical and mental state. It is influenced by the chemicals in our brain, the hormones in our body, and the neural pathways that transmit signals between different parts of our brain. Yet, despite this complexity, or perhaps because of it, understanding our emotions and learning to control them is a journey worth embarking on. It is a journey that can lead to greater self-awareness, better relationships, and improved mental health. A journey that can help us navigate the turbulent seas of our emotions and find calm amidst the storm. Our emotions, while seemingly unpredictable and uncontrollable, are deeply rooted in science. Unraveling the science behind our emotions can provide us with fascinating insights. So, let's dive right in. Emotions, it turns out, are a bit like an orchestra, with different sections of the brain playing their part. The limbic system is the conductor, guiding the symphony of feelings that surge through us. It's in this region where emotions are born, specifically in our amygdala, the brain's emotional processing hub. When you experience something emotionally charged, your amygdala sends a distress signal to your hypothalamus. It's like the brain's command center, communicating with the rest of the body through the autonomic nervous system. This system has two components, the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. The sympathetic system triggers the fight or flight response, providing the body with a burst of energy to respond to perceived danger. The parasympathetic system, on the other hand, calms the body down after the danger has passed. Now let's talk about the chemical side of emotions. They're not just neurological, but biochemical as well. Our emotional responses trigger the release of different hormones. When we're scared, our bodies pump out adrenaline, preparing us for action. When we're in love, our brains are flooded with oxytocin, often called the love hormone. And when we're stressed, that's cortisol at work. It's these hormones that cause physical sensations associated with certain emotions. Ever felt your heart race when you're nervous? That's adrenaline. Or felt a warm, fuzzy feeling when hugging a loved one? That's oxytocin. But it's not all physical. Emotions also affect our mental state and perception. They color our memories and guide our decision-making process. They can even influence our long-term mental health. Understanding the science of emotions helps us appreciate their complexity. They're not just about feeling happy or sad. They're about how our brains interpret these feelings, how our bodies react, and how these reactions impact our thoughts and actions. Emotions are not just feelings. They are complex reactions involving our brain, body, and mind. Our behavior is a reflection of our emotional state. Delving deeper into the fascinating world of emotions, we find ourselves confronted with an intriguing question. How exactly do our emotions influence our behavior? It's an intricate dance, really, one that plays out in our everyday actions, decisions, and interactions with others. Consider this. Have you ever made a decision in the heat of the moment, only to question it later when you've cooled down? That's your emotions shaping your behavior. When we're angry, we may act impulsively, while feeling happy can lead us to make more generous choices. It's a testament to the profound power of our emotions. Research backs this up. Studies in the field of psychology have shown that our emotions can dramatically shape our actions. For example, fear can trigger a fight or flight response, causing us to either confront the situation head-on or flee from it. Similarly, feelings of love can compel us to act in ways that prioritize the well-being of those we care about. Our emotions also color our interactions with others. If we're feeling down, we might withdraw from social situations. But if we're feeling joyful, we're more likely to seek out and engage with others. Our emotional state can even influence how we perceive and respond to the emotions of those around us. But it's not just about how emotions can influence our behavior. It's also about how understanding our emotions can help us manage our behavior. By becoming more aware of our emotional states, we can make conscious choices about how we act and react. We can learn to recognize when our emotions might be leading us astray and take steps to steer our behavior in a more constructive direction. This isn't about suppressing or ignoring our emotions. On the contrary, it's about acknowledging them, understanding them, and using that understanding to guide our actions in a way that aligns with our values and goals. Understanding our emotions can help us gain better control over our behavior. While emotions can seem overwhelming, we are not entirely helpless. This marks the beginning of our exploration into the art of emotion regulation. It's a fascinating journey, one that empowers us to handle our emotions with poise and grace. Emotion regulation, in its simplest form, is the ability to manage and respond to an emotional experience in a way that is both socially acceptable and beneficial to our overall well-being. It's not about denying our emotions, but rather understanding them and learning how to express them appropriately. One of the strategies that science suggests for emotion regulation is mindfulness. Mindfulness, a term that has taken the world by storm, is all about staying in the present moment. It's about acknowledging our emotions as they come, without any judgment. When we practice mindfulness, we create space between our emotions and our reactions, allowing us to respond rather than react. Next, we have cognitive reappraisal. This is a psychological term that refers to our ability to change the way we think about a situation in order to change how we feel about it. Instead of viewing a stressful event as a disaster, we might choose to see it as a challenge. This subtle shift in perspective can have a profound impact on our emotional response. Lastly, there's emotional expression. This is about finding healthy outlets for our emotions. It could be through art, music, writing, or even physical exercise. By expressing our emotions, we allow them to move through us rather than allowing them to build up and potentially explode. The art of emotion regulation is not about achieving emotional perfection, it's about balance. It's about understanding that emotions are a natural part of the human experience and learning how to navigate them effectively. The more we practice these techniques, the more adept we become at managing our emotional landscape. Regulating our emotions doesn't mean suppressing them, it means understanding and managing them. So, let's embrace the art of emotion regulation and embark on a journey towards emotional wisdom. So why do we lose control of our emotions? In our journey today, we've explored the labyrinth of emotions, diving deep into the science that underpins them. We've discussed how these complex reactions, which are rooted in our biology, shape our behavior, often in ways we may not even realize. We've seen how emotions, like uninvited guests, can sometimes take over the party that is our psyche. But remember, while they may seem overwhelming, they are not the end-all and be-all of who we are. We've also delved into the art of emotion regulation, sharing strategies that can help us manage these intense feelings rather than letting them manage us. It's about recognizing that we are not merely puppets in the hands of our emotions, but rather, we are the puppeteers. Understanding our emotions is the first step towards gaining control over them. Remember, you are not your emotions, you are the observer and manager of your emotions.